Does it seem odd to you that Miss Blair was requesting all cash payments? Miss Blair mentions that she's desperate for cash, correct? Green light, 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 green light. 2 green lights.
We're not going to win on the, oh, by the way, you weren't competent.
Does it seem odd to you that Miss Blair was requesting all cash payments?
I mean, yeah, but not really. I mean, she kind of explained it to us. I mean, she told us about her situation with her kids and that she didn't trust that they were going to go into her bank account and this and that she seemed like she was, afraid to, she said her kids had access to her email. She said that, she was it was weird. We did everything on the phone and it was kind of just off, but it kind of made sense because she told me that, she didn't have a relationship with any of her children and they kind of like, they had a falling out or whatever. And,
So as of January 31st of 2022, how much money had you paid Miss Blair?
$100,000.
We're still 500 off, but
I think the testimony, Your Honor, was that he paid $14,500.
yeah, and 85,000 and 14,500 adds up to, doesn't add up to 100,000.
Or this and that, I don't know.
So 99.5.
Yes.
Okay.
And I accepted his $85,000 figure. I didn't add those numbers up through November 15th. So maybe a minute and do that, but we're $500 off.
Mr. O'Donnell, if you could put a green light next to Exhibit 12 for me.
Let me take just a moment. Let me add that up. Adds up to $84,600.
I think November 15th was 14,400, Your Honor.
Oh, 400 plus 400.
Well, what's that again, please, Counsel?
Yeah, that adds up to $85,000. November 15th was 14,400, so it does add up to 85,000.
Okay, and then with the additional 14,500, it will be 99,500.
Yes.
All right. Is that accurate, Mr. O'Donnell?
Yeah, I believe we're paid at 100,000, but yeah, it's accurate. It's accurate.
Might have been my mistake as a rounding error.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me back up for a minute. Let's go back to Exhibit 11. You're probably going to get to this, but this is a question I've had since the very first day. This shows a picture of the lease option to purchase. Who drafted that lease option to purchase?
Rosemary and I did together.
Who typed it up?
We just went on the computer and got it off of like Rocket Law or whatever it was. It was Rocket Law.
And where was that done?
That was partially done at my house, and then I sent her over something, and then I think she sent me back the thing. She had her attorney or someone look at it. She sent something back to me, and then we met at her house, and I just printed this thing up, and then we just did it there.
All right, then at some point you went to a notary to have it signed?
Yeah, she called and had it set up at her bank or whatever. So when we met her at the house, we went over everything, and then we went up to the notary later on.
And that was at a bank?
I believe so, yeah. It's Rosemary's bank.
You're stealing my thunder, Judge. Or anything.
All right, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Now,
No, keep
just
going.
a minute. Ms. Bowers needed a break. Maybe everybody else does too. Let's just take a short break and then let's go back at 11:25 and then we'll plow on till lunchtime, but let's take a recess for everybody's benefit.
Okay, thank you.
He did the whole lease and brought it to my house, and it was not signed at my bank, but it was signed at the Winfield Township place where I live. And I don't know where the back page is here that says that.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm looking for.
I don't know if I have mine in the car or not.
There it is.
There it is. It wasn't done at the bank, it was done at Winfield Township. And he drew it all up. I never,
Made any changes.
and these things aren't true either. I have all my bank statements.
No, that doesn't, the bank statements aren't gonna prove. They could, but they don't necessarily. And
Is the promissory note in there?
yeah,
No,
somewhere.
no.
Okay, well, I have it. So what's the point? You never pled it.
They were both signed at the Winfield Township.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah, that was signed the same place. And one thing Matthew did ask me, if she asked me, the notary, if I knew what I was signing, and she never asked me that. That is the truth. I'm not,
Okay, well, we're not gonna win on the,
huh?
we're not going to win on the, oh, by the way, you weren't competent. We aren't going to win on, oh, by the way, you aren't competent.
On the what? I gotta go outside. I can't hear.
Yeah.
20 minutes later.
Wish I could fix it. Direct exam is the boringest part of everything. I don't, if you have a solution to that, let me know.
You have to be methodical about it. I tried over 100 felony cases in my day. I don't know how many misdemeanors. It's been a while since I've had to do it, more than 20 years. All right, we're back on the record. We were starting to address exhibit number 12. We'll plow on ahead until lunchtime.
You're right. We entered exhibit 12 into evidence,
Yes.
correct? Okay, all right. All right, Mr. O'Donnell, I want to direct your attention to what's marked as exhibit 13. Is there a green sticker next to exhibit 12?
Yes, there is.
Okay, great. Don't want to miss a green light.
No, we do not.
Mr. O'Donnell, have you seen exhibits 13 before?
Yes,
Are you familiar with this document?
yes.
What is this document?
It's a text from me to Rosemary, between me and Rosemary.
And were you a party to this text message?
Yes,
And what is the name at the top of this text message thread?
Rosemary,
And who is that referring to?
Rosemary Blair.
And is that how Rosemary Blair is stored in your phone?
Yes,
And whose text messages are on the blue bubbles on the right?
those are mine.
And whose text messages are on the black bubbles on the left with the rows after them?
That would be Rosemary.
And does this text message string appear to be a true and accurate copy of the original?
Yes,
Your Honor, we would ask that exhibit 13 be admitted into evidence.
Your Honor, I don't see any numbers on this one. I question the relevancy of this. What does it prove? I don't think it proves anything.
Well, it gave me an epiphany when I read, I am back at the slot machines by self-parking. Maybe something happened on the 9th, 10th, or 11th, and they're referencing seeing each other. So I'll allow him to testify about what it is before we rule on your motion.
It's, for purposes of foundation, you're exactly right. There's direct evidence, there's circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is just as accurate as direct evidence sometimes, and we'll prove through the testimony what the circumstantial evidence is. All right, I want to direct you to the text message that says, I am here. Do you see that?
Yes,
Okay, and there's a rose after that?
yes, sir.
Okay. Who sent that text message?
Rosemary did.
And what's the date above that text message?
March 10th of 2022.
And the next text message down, you state, we should be there and at 12:30. Sorry, running late. Is that correct?
Yes,
And Miss Blair writes back, I am at the slot machines back by self-parking. Do you see that?
yes,
Did you meet Miss Blair somewhere on March 10th?
yes, I did.
Where did you meet her?
At the Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo.
And whose idea was it to meet at the casino?
Rosemary Blair's,
And why were you meeting Miss Blair at the Four Winds Casino?
to give her money
And what was that money for?
for the purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
And did you pay Miss Blair any money on March 10th of
Yes.
2022?
Yes, we did.
How much money did you pay her?
$2,000
What form was that payment in?
cash
And what was that payment for?
for the purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
Green light. Can you put a green sticker next to? All right, Mr. O'Donnell, I want to direct you to what's marked for purpose identification as
All right,
exhibit.
well, exhibit 13 is admitted over the objection.
Mr. O'Donnell, I want to
Okay,
direct you to exhibit 14.
okay.
Have you seen this document before?
Yes, I have.
Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I am.
And what is this document?
It's a picture of the text between Rosemary and myself.
And you were a party to these text messages?
Yes, I was.
And does the text message string appear to be true and accurate copy of the original?
Yes, it does.
And again, whose name is at the top of that text message?
Rosemary's,
And who is that referring to?
Rosemary Blair.
Your Honor, we'd ask that exhibit 14 be admitted into evidence.
Same objection, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
this-
There's no relevancy. There's
Was
no-
there a meeting at Four Winds on April 12th?
That's
Yes.
the next part of it, Your
All
Honor.
right,
Mr. O'Donnell, what is the date at the top of the text message string and exhibits
April 12th of 2022.
14? April 12th of 2022.
Yes,
And I want to direct you to text message that states, I am at Four Winds. Give me a call when you arrive. I tried to call your mailbox full like me. You see that?
yes, I do.
And what date is above that text message?
April 12th of 2022.
And who sent that text message?
Rosemary Blair.
And the next message down, you state, I have to stop at the bank. It should be about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes,
Why were you stopping at the bank?
to get her cash.
And the next text message down, you say, it was great seeing you. I hope you have a lovely day.
Yes,
Did you see Miss Blair on April 12th?
yes, I did.
Where did you see her at?
The Four Winds Casino.
Whose idea was it to meet at Four Winds Casino?
Rosemary Blair's.
And did you pay Miss Blair any money on April 12th?
Yes, I did. I paid her $2,000.
And what was that payment for?
The purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
Green light, if you could put a sticker next to that message or exhibit, that'd be great.
with the objection noted, exhibit 14 is admitted.
Mr. O'Donnell, I want to, on the same document, I want to direct you to the text where it states 5:10 PM on April 12th of 2022. We have to stay in touch. Seeing you and how much you like Corey makes me happy. Happy Easter to your family. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Sent that text message.
Rosemary Blair.
And what was your understanding of that text message?
She was happy that we bought the house and that we were enjoying it.
All right, we're gonna come back to exhibit 15. I want to skip over to exhibit 16. Have you seen this document before?
Yes, I have.
Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I am.
What is this document?
It's text between me and Rosemary.
And were you a party to these text messages?
Yes, I was.
And does this text message string appear to be a true and accurate copy of the original?
Yes.
And what's the date of this text message?
June 8th, Wednesday, June 8th of 2022.
And does it span over another day?
What's that?
Does it span
Hold
over
on
another
a
day?
second.
Yeah.
Exhibit 15 is 2 pages.
We're on
We're on exhibit 16. We
All right,
skipped
so, yeah,
15.
We're
We're
going to
gonna come back.
16. I knew we were skipping, but I didn't realize it was second page.
Yeah,
All right,
sorry.
so these are texts of June 8th.
Your Honor, my exhibit 15 only has one page.
Exhibit 15
That's
shows,
16 is one page.
15 shows a text message and then a bank statement from First Midwest Bank.
Okay, very good. I have
Okay,
that.
fine. So 16 is a text titled Rosemary, Wednesday, June 8th.
So we skip 15 and to no surprise, we're gonna have a different witness testify about that, who can lay a proper foundation. So we're at exhibit 16, which is the June 8th and 9th text messages. Mr. O'Donnell, I want to direct you to the text message that states, "Good morning. Hope everything is going well. What time tomorrow at Four Winds? See you then. Things are desperate for cash. Thanks." Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
It's got a rose after it, correct?
Yes.
Who sent that text message?
Rosemary Blair.
And you write back,
Your Honor, what exhibit have I missed it?
We're exhibit 16, Rosemary, Wednesday, June 8th. Good morning. Hope everything is well. What time tomorrow at Four Winds? See you then.
you're on
Things are
15,
desperate for
16.
cash.
Fair enough. I'm sorry, Your
All right.
Honor.
Again, Ms. Blair states, "Good morning. Hope everything is going well. What time tomorrow at Four Winds? See you then. Things are desperate for cash." You see that?
Yes, I do.
Who sent that text message?
Rosemary Blair.
And you wrote back, "Rosemary, I have to wait for Carla. I'll call you maybe around 2." You see that?
Yes.
And Miss Blair writes back, "Okay, I really need cash. Thanks." Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall meeting with Miss Blair on June 9th after this text message string?
Yes, I did.
And what date did you meet with Miss Blair?
On the 9th.
Of June?
Yes.
And where did you meet her at?
The Four Winds Casino
And why were you meeting Miss Blair?
to pay her cash.
And what was that cash for?
To purchase 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
And did you pay Miss Blair money on June 9th of 2022?
Yes, I did. I paid her $2,000
And what was that payment for?
for the purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
Green light. Can you put a green sticker
Yep.
next to that? All right, Mr. O'Donnell, in exhibit 16, twice, Miss Blair mentions that she's desperate for cash, correct?
Yes.
Did you have a discussion with Miss Blair about why she was desperate for cash?
I mean, kind of, yeah. She just basically told us that, I mean, everything that her money got cut off. She was getting money from like this oil money that she had from oil land she owns down in Texas, and they reduced her amount of rate. And she said her kids were, trying to take her money, and she said that she was just losing money everywhere.
So she was using you as the bank, correct?
Yes.
Were you concerned that you were giving her these large amounts of money at a casino?
No, because I mean, she's pretty believable, Your Honor. I mean,
Well,
it wasn't that she didn't pretend like she was gambling there. She said she was going there to get the free gifts that they give out or whatever they give. That's why we went on I think it was on Thursdays or Wednesdays or whatever day it was. I had blinders on, Your Honor. I mean, I didn't really, it's kind of.
Well, and
excited
you
about
live
that.
in New Buffalo, so the casino is not very far from your
Not at all,
house.
no.
So what I was gonna ask is, the city of New Buffalo, how far is Four Winds from you?
It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops.
The longest part of the drive is probably the driveway.
It is, and it's getting there from
From the road back to the casino.
but for Rosemary, it's easy too, because you can get off 94 right there, and then you just hop right to it's right there in the casino.
All right, I want to direct you to what's marked as Exhibit 17. Have you seen this picture before?
Yes,
And are you familiar with this picture?
yes,
Is it the same as a demonstrative board up over here in front of you?
yes.
And what is this picture?
It's a picture of money I'd given to Rosemary Blair.
Did you take this picture?
Yes, I did.
When did you take this picture?
On July 1st of 2022,
And again, why did you take this picture?
to prove I paid her money.
What device did you take this picture with?
My iPhone.
And where did you take this picture at?
At her car at Corey Lake. She was at the house at Corey Lake.
So when you say Corey Lake, is that the same as 11247?
247, yes, at the residence.
Okay.
Good question.
All right, so Miss Blair drove up to you at Corey Lake.
Yes,
And does this picture appear to be a true and accurate copy of the original?
yes.
So it says 500,
She paid me that before. We just broke that down.
628, 22, 500, and then 2,000 on 7/1.
Yes,
Your Honor, we'd ask that Exhibit 7 be admitted into evidence.
17 is admitted,
Your Honor, if I may do brief part here.
certainly.
Your Honor, can we save cross-examination until the?
Well, he can voir dire on the photo, so I'll allow it.
What does the 500 on June 28th, 22 represent?
payment. She came to me for money all the time. So all the money, all the payments I made to her just came off the purchase price.
Yeah, we're getting into the next questions I'm gonna ask. So I can only ask the cadence of my questions, I can only ask one question, one fact at a time, so.
All right, so did we put a sticker on the 2,000 and 500?
Do we green light the, 25?
I haven't got there.
Okay.
We could just short circuit this, do you see the $500 at the top right-hand corner of the envelope?
Yes,
Okay, and what's the date next to that?
June 28th of 2022.
Okay. Did you make a $500 payment to Ms. Blair on June 28th of 2022?
Yes, I did.
How did you make that payment?
Cash.
Okay. What was that payment related to?
The purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
And again, is there any other reason during this time that you would have paid Ms. Blair any money other than towards the purchase of?
Not at all, no.
And then $2,000 Rosemary, 7/1/22. You see that reference?
Yes,
Did you pay Rosemary $2,000 on July 1st of 2022?
yes, I did.
How did you pay that money?
Cash.
What did that payment relate to?
The purchase of 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
Can you put 2 green lights for me? And whose handwriting is that, Mr. O'Donnell, on that bank envelope?
Oh, that's my handwriting.
Probably a stupid question, but what's in that bank envelope?
$2,000 cash.
Not a thank you card, not an IOU?
No, she wouldn't accept those.
I want to direct you back to Exhibit 2. And I do want to put on the record, I made a mistake. I added wrong. So as of July of 2022, how much money had you paid Ms. Blair?
July of, wait a minute, hang on a second. Oh, I paid her $112,500.
But do you remember a testimony that we were off of
So
$500?
$112,000, yeah.
Was that my mistake?
I believe so, yeah, but that's okay.
$500, I'm sorry. And is 112,000 now revised, the amount that's reflected in the summary that's exhibited?
Yes, it is.
And did we literally just walk through all of the evidence that you have that justifies and shows that you made payments to Ms. Blair adding up to $112,000 as of July 1st of 2022?
Yes, it does.
And again, what were all those payments related to?
They were for the purchase of this property, 11247 Lakeshore Drive.
Okay. All right, I want to switch gears and talk
Well, let me
about,
stop for a minute. Exhibit 2 is tentatively admitted based on the premise that you would tie it up with the exhibits listed, which has been done. So Exhibit 2 is admitted.
all right, Mr. O'Donnell, I want to switch gears and talk about the contract that you entered into with Ms. Blair, so if we can turn to what's marked as Exhibit 18. Have you seen this document before?
Yes,
Are you familiar with this document?
yes.
Okay, what is this document?
It's the contract we signed for the purchase of the property.
And is it titled lease with option
Yes,
to purchase?
yes.
And what property does this land contract relate to?
11247 Lakeshore Drive.
And does Exhibit 18 appear to be a true and accurate copy of the original?
Yes,
Your Honor, we ask that Exhibit 18 be admitted into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. It's admitted. It's in pleadings and several different, it's in the original pleading, but it's admitted here for purposes of this.
All right, Mr. O'Donnell, I want to direct you to page 6 of Exhibit 18. On page 6 is a signature block that says the landlord in all bold text. Is that
Yes.
correct?
yes.
And whose signature appears to be under that heading?
Rosemary Blair.
And did you witness Ms. Blair sign that document?
Yes, I did.
Where did Ms. Blair sign this document?
At the Notary Public,
And where was the notary public?
Crown Point, Indiana.
Was that Ms. Blair's bank?
Yes.
Whose idea was it to sign this document at her bank?
Miss Blair's.
And did she tell you why she wanted it signed at the bank?
Just she knew the people there and she said it was free, I believe.
Did she want it notarized?
Yes, she wanted it notarized.
What is the date next to Ms. Blair's signature?
November 15th of 2021.
And is that date the same date as these demonstrative with large stacks of cash that went over previously?
Yes, it is.
And again, did you have any concerns about the mental capacity of
Not
Ms.
at
Blair?
all.
Did the notary express any
No,
concerns?
no, everybody was fine. I mean, she.
And the next signature block down is the heading states tenant in all bold. Do you see that?
Yes,
Whose signature is under that tenant heading?
that's my signature.
And what's the date next to your signature?
November 15th of 21.
Okay, is that the date that you signed this document?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and where were you at when you signed this document?
At the Notary Public.
Crown Point, Indiana?
Yes,
All right, the next signature block says tenant again.
yes.
Whose signature appears under that heading?
Carla Bowers.
And did you witness Ms. Bowers sign this document?
Yes, I did.
And where did Ms. Bowers sign this document?
At the Notary Public.
Okay, what's the date next to Carla's signature?
November 15th of 2021. Okay.
And were you living at the house at 11247 Lakeshore Drive as of November 15th of 2021? Okay. I want to turn back to page 1. First paragraph states, lease with the option to purchase is effective on November 15th of 2021. You see that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped it. I gotta go back to the hand 1 second. All right. Go, yes.
So lease with the option to purchase is made effective on November 15th of 2021. Do you see that?
It says November. Are we on to term?
No. Under lease with option to purchase, the first paragraph.
Oh,
You
okay,
see that?
sorry. Yeah, I got it. Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep.
Your Honor, this has already been admitted. It speaks for itself. For him to go through each and every section, I don't know, is it?
Well, hopefully we aren't gonna do that, but he's identifying what it is, so let's see where we go.
Yeah, I think there's relevant sections of this. Again, specific performance requires that our client fully perform with the obligations under the contract. I have to offer proofs. I'm not going to go through every single word, but we need to offer proofs and some testimony. And also admit into evidence. I guess the other thing we could do is
Well,
opposing counsel,
18 is admitted, but,
opposing counsel would just stipulate that that Mr. O'Donnell, Ms. Bowers fully comply with the requirements of this contract.
I'd like to hear the testimony. I'm new to it.
Okay.
I guess you can have it both ways, so, all right, we'll slog through it. We've got 15 minutes before lunch.
And the first paragraph, I'm sorry, November 15th of 2021, the first paragraph, is that the same date that you signed this document?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the first paragraph states, lease with option to purchase is made between Rosemary Blair and Joseph O'Donnell and Carla Bowers. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what property does this document relate to?
11247 Lakeshore Drive.
And is that property identified in this document?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, I want to direct you to the heading that's titled premises in all bold caps. You see that?
Yes.
Starting on line 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it states this agreement is entered into between the parties and is essentially a purchase agreement. Do you see that?
Yes.
What's your understanding of the term of that term of the agreement?
It was just, this is like where we came up with the land contract idea. It's just that, we were going to pay the $85,000 down, and then we were going to have time, and we weren't going to make any rent payments or anything until we had the final balloon payment due in the future.
And is that consistent with what your understanding of a land contract is?
Yes, it is.
So while it's maybe titled off of Rocket Mortgage, lease with option to purchase, did you intend this to operate as a land contract?
Yes, we did.
And line 5 states the parties have paid Rosemary Blair $85,000 of the $450,000 purchase price. Do you see that?
Yes.
And what is the total purchase price according to Exhibit 18 for the purchase of the property?
$450,000.
Okay. And is that the amount that you and Ms. Blair discussed and agreed to purchase the property for?
Yes, it is.
All right, so the document states that you paid Rosemary $85,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Blair signed this document?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And had you actually paid Ms. Blair $85,000 as of November 15th of 2022?
Yes, we had.
Can you think of any reason why Ms. Blair would claim that she was only paid $30,000?
No, I can't at all. Essentially lying.
And she signed a contract to the effect that she was actually paid as of that day $85,000. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And we just went over the various payment documents that support the $85,000 that you paid as of November 15th of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay, look at line 6. It states the parties agree that Joe O'Donnell and Carla Bowers will have a reasonable time to secure the remaining $365,000 for purchase. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, so is 450 minus 85, 365?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your understanding of that term?
That when the balloon payment came due, we'd pay her the 365, and then we get title of the property.
Okay, and now I want to talk about what triggered the balloon payments. Line 8 states, once Rosemary Blair informs Mr. O'Donnell and Ms. Bowers she's ready to close on the purchase, or to close, the purchasers shall have 3 months, 90 days to close. What is your understanding of that term?
Basically, once Rosemary got everything in order and she was ready to, she gave us the green light to close on it, then we could, we had 90 days to get the financing ready and to set the closing date and take care of the, buy the property, come up with the $365,000 and pay her the property.
So is it accurate to say that once Ms. Blair notified you that she wanted to close on the property, that you would have 3 months to pay the remainder of the purchase price?
Yes, and if it went over that, I'd have to pay $1,000 a month.
All right. We're gonna come back to exhibit 18, but I want to quickly skip to exhibit 19. Have you seen this document before?
Yes, I am.
And are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I am.
What is this document?
It's text messages between Rosemary and myself.
Does exhibit 19 appear to be a true and accurate copy of the original?
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd ask that exhibit 19 be admitted into evidence.
Objection,
No objection, Your Honor.
it's admitted.
What's the name at the top of this text message thread?
Rosemary,
Who's that referring to?
Rosemary Blair.
And I want to direct you to the attention to the text message Ms. Blair sent you on August 4th of 2022 at 8:41 p.m. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that text message, Ms. Blair states, per your text of August 3, 2022, you state you have the money to close today. I want to close ASAP. Thanks, Rosemary. Did you state that you had the money to close that day, or did you?
I said we're ready to close whenever you want. Yeah.
Did you ever say that I've got the money to close right today, or did you tell her that you had the money to close?
I didn't have the money. I don't think I would have told her that if I didn't have the
Suggested.
money right then. So
I'm sorry.
Leading suggestive, the document speaks for itself.
Well, it isn't clear. She says you have the money to close today. Of course, it didn't change the terms of the agreement. And you say, thank you, I have my attorney working on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then she says, have your attorney call my attorney intake number. Was that presumably something to pay it to?
Yeah, these attorneys won't respond to you or anything. You call them and they don't. You have
This
to
is
write them.
some
You have to write.
regional, strange kind of a thing. All right, so
I think
she
through her
says,
legal
I'm ready to
shield or whatever
close. You say, thank you. And then at the end, you say, hopefully it will be next week. That's your response?
Yes.
Was this the first time that Ms. Blair informed you that she wanted to close on the sale of the property?
Yes.
Was this the first time that Ms. Blair provided you with written notification that she wanted to close on the sale of the property?
Yes.
Is this document what triggered your balloon payment of 90 days to close on the sale of the property?
Yes.
And as of August 3rd of 2022, how much money had you paid Ms. Blair towards the purchase of the property?
112,000.
Not 112,500, correct?
Yeah.
And as of August 3rd of 2022, how much of the remaining purchase price did you have to pay within 90 days?
It was like 335 or something. Or no, 300. I forget.
Would that be 338?
338. Yeah. Okay.
And how did you intend to pay the remainder of that purchase price?
Just a standard loan.
By the conventional loan?
Yeah, just conventional 30-year fixed loan.
And were you in the financial position to secure $338,000 of financing within 90
Yes.
days of August 4th? Okay. And you intended to secure that through
Bank, just through the bank.
through a conventional loan?
Yeah.
And what was the term of the loan that you intended to secure?
Be 30-year.
And as of August 4th of 2022, did you have sufficient collateral to secure a loan for $338,000?
Yes, I did.
You got two properties in New
Yes,
Buffalo,
we
correct?
both did. Yeah, I have two properties. Yes, yes.
Do you have other investments and other assets?
Yes,
So that would be sufficient collateral for $338,000.
yes, I do.
And then Ms. Bowers has
She also, yes.
assets, correct?
She was forced to buy a house for 42 weeks later, so yeah.
So would you have been ready, willing, and able to close on the sale of the property within 90 days of August 4th of
Yes.
2022? And did you actually intend to close on the sale of the property?
Yes, we did.
All right. Turn back to Exhibit 18. I want to direct you back to the section that is titled premises and all bold. All right, line 11.
What page are we on?
Oh, sorry, excuse me, page 1. Under premises, line 11. Do you see where it states, this agreement includes all real and personal property, including all boats, toys, and furnishings located at 11247 Lakeshore Drive, Three Rivers, Michigan 49093?
Yes.
What was your understanding of that term?
There was lots of boats and toys at the house, and there's like just beach stuff. There was everything, and that it was all going to be included with this deal. Like when we bought the house, it was all coming with the house that she was selling as a package.
So addition to the dirt in the house,
There was 5 boats. There was a pontoon. There was a ski boat. And then there was a paddle boat, and there was a canoe, and there was a little Hobie cat.
Okay, let me write that down. So in addition to the dirt in the house, this mentions the furnishings located at the property.
Yes,
Was it your understanding that the furnishings located at the property at that date would be part of the purchase price of the house?
yes,
Did you discuss that with Ms. Blair?
yes.
Okay. And then it talks about boats and toys. Let's talk about boats. What boats is this section referring to?
It's referring to, there was a pontoon boat, and there was a ski boat, and there was a paddle boat, and then there was a canoe, and there was a Hobie cat.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I think all this testimony is important for the conversion part of the
Yeah.
complaint, but not.
Where are those items now? Do you have possession of them?
No,
All right.
You took my question away.
All right, well, he's right. These go to damage. Certainly not
Well,
artfully drafted, no VIN numbers or anything, but your understanding was the purchase price was gonna include all of this.
yes,
and Your Honor, part of our request for specific performance would be to require Ms. Blair to fulfill the terms and obligations of the contract, which would be to give back or to tender possession of the items of personal property and the boats. And we're gonna get into detail about the boats here in a second. So it does
All
go
right,
to
well,
conversion.
let's take a recess.
Thank you.
thank you.
We'll resume at 1 or shortly thereafter. If they go out for lunch, it might take a few minutes past 1. Dining options, you've been here to Centerville. We got Yoder's, we got McDonald's, we've got the Royal Cafe. I don't know if the restaurant across the street, so, and the new place, the Chill Bean right on Main Street is highly regarded.